Lucknow team is a new addition to the Indian T20 League, and they've made some interesting picks in the original draft. Let's discuss about those here at Timeout with SportsAdda. The costliest team in the league, Arun. Lucknow have really broken the bank to buy this team, and they've picked some interesting players in the draft opportunity that they've got. So, first thoughts about that.
I can't really read anything into it, honestly. Akhil. I mean, they like with new ventures, you really can't say which direction they will go. You always want them to do well, but it's very early for me to kind of get a reading into what they approach it. Look, it's like a completely blank canvas at this stage, right? You've only got three dots in which more than three dots. You've got the three players they signed at the draft, and then you've got some kind of a hint of what what direction they will take because of the coaching staff. We'll talk about them, but my initial thoughts, KL Rahul was an expected signing. Uh, I thought he would have been the second pick for this signing. I thought they would have gone with somebody like a Suresh Raina maybe, but KL Rahul is a very good pick there. Marcus Stoinis is another really good pick. I'm a little surprised and confused about Ravi Bishnoi though, honestly.
Somebody's seen something about Ravi Bishnoi for sure. There are two things which I wanted to just talk about and like bring to the forefront. There are this owner of the team, Arun, is not somebody who's a rookie in this league. If you remember,
Right.
he was the owner. He had a team for 2 years, the Pune team. So and he's made some tough decisions. If you remember, I mean, how many owners would have had the guts to change a captain like a Mahendra Singh Dhoni and replace him with a Steve Smith just because the team was not doing well? So this owner has shown some kind of indication that he wants performance and that this team is going to go for victory. So that way, KL Rahul will have to be very careful. He cannot just be a captain like he was at Punjab, where he's not worried about the team doing well, but he's scoring his own runs and not having the pressure of having to win games. So that is not going to be the case very clearly here. Also, they have a mentor or director, Gautam Gambhir. He's again somebody who's tasted success in the Indian T20 League as a captain. Uh, Made an extremely courageous move, if you remember, while he was a Delhi captain, where he couldn't score runs. So he dropped himself, got Shreyas Iyer as a captain, and helped the team that way. So then there's a owner and there's a director who are like not scared of making tough decisions. So that is something that KL Rahul, the captain, has to be extremely mindful about.
Yeah.
Ravi Bishnoi, like you mentioned,
And
sorry, go
sorry,
on.
Akhil. And then there's a very uh, lucky coach and a very good coach in Andy Fla.
So going to be an interesting combination of how they operate together. Going to be really interesting. Ravi Bishnoi, like you mentioned, puzzling pick for everyone, but I'm sure Gautam Gambhir must have seen something in him to say that he would have gone for a lot of money in the auction. So which are the key positions now you think they have to fill in? They need a opening partner for KL Rahul. Mayank Agarwal did the tough part at Punjab while Rahul was opening, getting all the quick runs so that Rahul could play his part. So they need an opener for him, and they need a couple of good quick bowlers to back up the leg spin there, right?
What do they have now? They've got one batsman, one all rounder, and one spinner. Akhil. So they probably need the entire set of play, entire gamut of players. But critically, they need batsmen and they need good fast bowlers. And which is where I'm looking at somebody like a Shami or Rabada again. I think the players they might
Yeah.
target is Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami, Kagis or Rabada. These three, I think they will target. They will chase aggressively. Among others, I think Steve Smith, uh, Suresh Raina, and Ishan Kishan. I think they might just pursue these three for batsmen slash. Some of them might also fit in the captain's role, should it come to it, or the vice captain's role, should it come to it.
Suresh Raina, you think will be a hot purchase in the auction? Do you think teams will still go after him?
I don't know if he'll be in a hot purchase yet, Akhil, but I think there will be at least two or three teams who will pursue him aggressively. He might not be the player. He's not the player he once was, and therefore he might not draw bids from, let's say, 8 of the 10 teams or 9 of the 10 teams. But there will definitely be bids put in by 2 or 3 teams at least. Look, we've got 10 teams, and 10 teams have got to find quality players. And at this stage, Suresh Raina is still one of those quality players. I mean, he was
Hmm.
dropped by Chennai in the last season, didn't score too many runs, but look, he's fit. He's still capable of scoring. I mean, you don't lose the art, you don't lose the knack of scoring runs overnight. So I still have belief in Suresh Raina, and I think Lucknow might just pursue him aggressively.
Good point. Again, we don't have any kind of trends here where we can decipher how a team has generally picked or what kind of money that they've spent in the auction. So we can't really talk about that here. But if you go, this is going to be a Gautam Gambhir team from what I can see from the outside. Uh, he's a passionate guy, like we've seen his passion on Twitter. We've seen the way he puts himself on the field also while he was a player. So we know this is going to be a out and out Gautam Gambhir team. And the kind of trend that we saw at Kolkata while he had the freedom to pick his team was that he was picking players who give him 100% efforts and who are going to be available for him throughout the format.
I mean, while I like it that you're mentioning Gautam Gambhir's name and the influence he can possibly have, I think this could just be Andy Flower's team, Akhil. The reason I say this, officially, at least on paper, Gautam Gambhir is the mentor. I don't know what role he will have, what kind of an influence he will have over decisions, the key decisions, right? My understanding is that he's a mentor of the team, and therefore Andy Flower designation wise at least will be a step above the mentor. So I think this could be Andy Flower's team and Andy Flower working closely with KL Rahul in kind of shortlisting players, choosing players at the auction. And Andy Flower has been successful around the world. Okay? He's been really successful around the world in T20
Yes.
leagues, and I I think this could just be good omen for Lucknow.
Hmm. Thoughts about KL Rahul batting position? He's going to open the innings. Do you think he'll be the wicket keeper also? I read in one of the interviews that the owner actually in his interview mentioned that in Rahul we have like a stupendous wicket keeper also as an option. So do you think he'll be keeping wickets?
He will be keeping wickets. Yes, I think. Look, it's about maximizing your resources in the IPL and going by some analysis done by analysts. In T20 cricket, a wicketkeeper only gets to gather about 10 to 12 deliveries in a T20 game. So that's not a lot of work. It puts strain on the body, yes, but modern day athletes are expected to cope with those kind of demand. I mean, you've got all kinds of science to support them. You've got all kinds of tools and mechanisms, fitness gadgets to support them. So I don't see why KL Rahul will not want to keep. Like I said, if he keeps wicket, gives you the opportunity to play one more explosive batsman or one more out and out fast bowler. So KL Rahul definitely keeps wickets for me.
All right, cool. So a little bit of mystery about this team. Not too many options, not too many trends that we can predict here. But Arun, before I ask Arun, who are his picks that he has, 3 or 4 picks that he wants to give. Like we do at Timeout with SportsAdda, we are having another contest. We are asking all of you who listen into this episode that who are your picks that the Lucknow team should be going for. Uh, Go into our YouTube section, go to the comment section and write in your answers, your suggestions, and if those answers match with what actually happens at the auction and the players that Lucknow picked, then you stand a chance to win Time Out with Sports Adda merchandise. And those are brightly signed merchandise, so it's a beautiful contest that has been going on. We've been getting some great responses to that. So, yes, Arun, who are the 3 players that you think Lucknow will go after? Three, and they already have a captain. KL Rahul is going to be their captain, so the captaincy is not something that they're worried about. But three players.
I give you four, right?
Okay.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Suresh Raina, Kagiso Rabada, and I'm going Shakib Al Hassan. If Shakib's available, Shakib Al Hassan.
Good one. Shakib has played with Gautam Gambhir also in the past, so he'll be a good pick there. Okay, so those are Arun's picks. We are loving the kind of responses that we are getting to the questions, to the team combinations, and we'd love to hear more of those from you. So please do continue to respond to us. We'll also see how this auction shapes up for each of the teams, and we'll be back again and talk about the other teams in the Indian T20 League.